Hello, everyone. This is Reggie Bass. I'm so happy to be here. I am a coach. I travel all over the world. I've pretty much been to every continent coaching business entrepreneurs and individuals from all over the place. And I'm so happy to be here today with Naomi to talk to you a little bit about mindset, how mindset plays a role in your personal life, how mindset plays a role in your business life as well. So thank you so much, Naomi, for being here.
Thanks for having me. It's amazing.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's get straight into it. I coach a lot of people on mindset in their business. As you know, I work with a lot of entrepreneurs. You do that as well. You're very great at it. You're so good at it. Let me ask you a question. What is mindset to you, and how important is it for us to apply a good mindset in our lives and our business and all of that?
I think mindset to me is the key to unlocking everything. I think it's the key to people getting from stuck to out of stuck. It's the key for losing weight. It's the key for going after dreams that you have inside of you. You need a mindset in order to get through life and develop the proper relationships that you need in your life to get there as well.
And the reason why I asked that question is mindset is such a broad term. And sometimes people tie one meaning to it. Sometimes people even tie mental health to it as well. So what are some of the things that you do in life, or what are some of the things that you do with your clients to really help them to have a good mindset? And how important is that in the results that they get in their life?
I think for clients, it's really flipping the script. It's getting them to see the parts about them that they look at as weaknesses and to start to train their mind to see those things as strengths and as their superpowers, so that instead of feeling like they can't, they feel like, yeah, I can, because this thing that was holding me back is now the biggest strength that I have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then what about like overcoming fear and limiting beliefs? We all have limiting beliefs. I know I had a lot of them. And how important is it for us to identify our limiting beliefs and getting rid of those limiting beliefs?
It's limiting beliefs and the lens in which we view things, your fears, those are the things that hold you back. Those are the things that keep you from moving forward. And so it is critical to recognize them, be able to see the things that are holding you back, which is your limiting beliefs, your fears, and then to be able to correct the way you look at that in order to move forward. So it's very, very important.
So you work with clients on this, and give us an example of the type of clients you work with, and then some of the work that you do to get them results, because I know you're really results oriented. You're really focused on what it is that you're doing, especially when you're working with clients. So give us sort of a synopsis, if you will, on some of the things that you do with the clients that you work for and the results they get.
I work a lot with creatives and entrepreneurs and just people that are wanting to push forward, push to the next level. I think oftentimes when you are a creative person, you have all of these abilities and gifts inside of you. And often you love them so much that you don't know how to charge your worth, how to push yourself, because it's just something that you've just done. And so pushing people past that space of this is like my hobby into like, no, this is something I can do because this is things that other people need, and I can monetize that and I can grow that. So I think just really strategizing with people to come up with ways that they can take what's in them and use it in the world and feel okay about building a business out of it as well, but still having that passion to it and love for it.
So can someone hire you if they're not in business? Let's suppose someone's not in business and they need to develop some of these skills to work with you in order, maybe someone who wants to be in business, or maybe it's someone who maybe they even have a job. What can you do for someone like that? And is that someone that you would work with as well?
Absolutely. I think for me, the biggest key is people that are wanting, I really love to work with people that are trying to build their personal brand. And I think that we all actually need to have a personal brand. That's for everybody. And so whether it's in your job and connecting with what makes you unique, what makes you different, and bringing that to your job so that you can then create positions within that corporation or wherever you're working that drive, Absolutely.
They think of a brand as a business having a brand, or maybe a celebrity having a brand, but you can be branded at your job. You can be branded as the person who's next to be fired, or you can be branded as the person who's next to get that interview or that promotion, as you were saying. That's really, really interesting. So what are some of the other things that you do to help people? What are some of the other directions that you take people in their lives or their businesses to get the results?
Yeah. I think first it's obviously mindset, working through that stuff, but then it's also like the practical tools and strategizing with them to come up with a plan to like, who is your ideal person you want to serve? What's the ideal job that you want to go after? What are the things that, like, what are the dreams that you have in you? And then how do we put together a system and connect you with the right people to help you to get to where you need to be? And that accountability piece as well.
And what are some of the common denominators for people who have tried things over and over again and they're just not getting the result versus the people who get help from people like you and they always get the result? What's the common denominator between the first and then the latter?
I think the first is just someone who is stuck. They have a certain mindset. They keep trying the same things, getting the same results. And sometimes it's pride, sometimes it's fear, whatever the case may be. They haven't quite taken that step to say, I need help. And I think that when you can humble yourself and you can start looking at people that are doing the things that you want to do and are achieving the things that you want to achieve and ask them for help, because the reality is they've been there, they've made those mistakes, they've come up against those walls, and they have tools and strategies to help you. And I think what sets someone apart in anything that they're doing is they're okay to ask for help. They're okay to get a coach and say, I need that help. And personally, in my own life, it's like sometimes you try to do everything yourself, but when you let go of that and you have coaches such as yourself, it pushes you to the next level.
Absolutely. And it's funny. I mean, you're aware of this. People understand, working with someone like you or working with someone like me, they understand the value of coaching as it pertains to, like, maybe someone who is in sports or maybe someone who is in the Olympics or something like that. I mean, can you imagine if you took away their coach, the chaos that would happen? I think now a lot of people are really getting into coaching, and because a lot of people are also hiring coaches, especially with what we've gone through with the pandemic and everything. So how can someone work with you? What's the step they would have to take? Someone that's watching this, what's some of the steps they would have to take in order to work with you?
Well, the first thing they can do is go to my website, Naomi Lee Co., and they can send out an email and we can chat. But one of the things that I would hope for everyone that's watching is that you'd be a part of the Brand You Academy that I'm launching, which is it's 4 weeks, and you'll be able to really connect with who you are, what are your fears, what are the things that hold you back, and start to identify those roadblocks for you. And then the next phase would be moving into who do you want to serve? Who do you want to attract? And how do you attract that person into your business, into your creative space, whatever the case may be? Like, how do we find them? And then the third piece would be exactly what you're talking about, just the strategies of, like, how do you create a brand? How do you come up with those things? And so a place that you could work with me is going through that program and us working together and figuring those things out for you.
And I highly recommend someone who is really faced with challenges, or someone who needs to overcome fears or limiting beliefs. Most of the people I coach, they do well. And the first thing I'm working with them on is their mindset, because you have to have that piece before you can do the action steps to really get there. I mean, even someone who makes $100,000 a year, it's going to take a totally different strategy to make $200,000 a year, but it also takes a different mindset to do that as well. So we almost, in a sense, have to be flexible with our mindset as well. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I think the ability to pivot, to think differently. This is an area where I would feel that I can coach people in. Is there's a lot of people that have a very job orientated mindset. Even in their own business, it can be a job for them. And so to switch that thinking into building that and scaling that and growing that is a very important piece. So being able to, at any level that you're at, like, I have coaches, my coaches have coaches, like, we all need someone that is a few steps ahead of us in order to get to where we need to be.
Absolutely. And when you have that coach, you have someone from the outside looking in, which is really important, because there's a lot of things that we can't see. That's why when you get that box, where are the instructions? Always on the outside. The instructions are never in the inside. So what's the final thought that you can give us before we wrap up?
My final thought is just that Start believing in yourself. I think that often we are so busy comparing ourselves to everybody else. We're so busy trying to do the next thing, trying to catch the next idea. Oh, that person did well at that, so I'm going to do it that way. Or this person is doing this, so I better do this. And my encouragement is that you really dig within yourself. And whether you need a coach or you don't need a coach, that's up to you. But get to a place where you really know who you are and what your why is and where you're going in order for you to actually take those steps and pour into the people that you're meant to.
Absolutely. And give your website one more time.
Yeah, so it's www.naomileeco.com. So you can check it out there.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time. This has been great. Lots of great nuggets. And I'm a mindset guy, and I even learned from you as well. And that's why I wanted to do this. And just for the record, I requested to do this because Naomi's a great person. She's a great coach. And those of you who have the opportunity to work with her, you should really take that opportunity. And the first step is having that first consultation by going to her website. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Naomi. And always be great in all that you do. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Reggie. Bye.